Deep in the hills of Meghalaya, a honeymoon ended in a brutal killing. Sonam Raghuvanshi stands accused of conspiring with local accomplices to murder her husband, Raja. The Meghalaya Police Special Investigating Team compiled a 790-page charge sheet documenting the crime with forensic data and a mountain of evidence. Despite the volume of evidence, a Shillong court recently ordered Sonam's release on bail. To a public following the headlines, this release looked like a failure of evidence or a symptom of systemic corruption. In the Indian legal system, the state's authority to hold a suspect before trial depends on the legality of the arrest process. If the arrest itself is flawed, the weight of the evidence against the accused becomes irrelevant to their immediate detention. Articles 21 and 22 of the Indian Constitution set the rules of the game, dictating the absolute limits of state power during a criminal investigation. Article 21 establishes the right to liberty. To prevent the state from holding people indefinitely without a trial, the judiciary follows a strict standard. Bail is the rule, and jail is the exception. Article 22, Section 1 provides a specific safeguard. It mandates that every arrested person must be immediately and clearly informed of the exact grounds for their arrest. The court views this as a fundamental right, not an administrative hurdle. If the state fails to clearly explain why a person is being detained, the arrest loses its legal standing. This recreated intimation of grounds of arrest form left required allegation checkboxes blank, violating Article 22. Officers also wrongly typed Section 4031, a non-existent crime, instead of the 1031 murder code. This error was copied across all formal documents. By following a template instead of the law, the investigating team rendered this detention unconstitutional. These errors should have been caught immediately during the initial remand hearing. But Sonam was not provided with legal defense counsel at the hearing. The primary failsafe designed to flag paperwork errors was absent. The final safety net also failed. The magistrate, who is legally required to verify the arrest's legality within 24 hours, overlooked the fact that the murder charge was missing from the documents. Supreme Court precedents like Pankaj Bansal v. Union of India state that once a violation of Article 22(1) is proven, the court no longer has a choice. Granting bail becomes a mandatory constitutional duty. The failure of the police to file correct papers, the absence of counsel to challenge them, and the oversight of the magistrate left the court with no other legal path but to release her. Bail is not an acquittal. The 790-page charge sheet remains active, and the trial will proceed based on the evidence collected. The release is also heavily restricted. Sonam had to provide a significant personal bail bond and 2 independent sureties to guarantee her appearance in court. She is forbidden from leaving Shillong without permission, must attend every hearing, and is strictly prohibited from contacting any witnesses in the case. The prosecution's strategy must now shift. To secure a conviction, they will have to rely on hard forensic data, like mobile tower trajectories, to prove her involvement beyond a reasonable doubt. Raja's family has lost faith in the investigation, viewing these procedural errors as a loophole that allows a primary suspect to evade justice. They are now calling for the CBI to take over. But the law treats these technicalities as essential protections. If the state is allowed to break the law to imprison a murderer, it can break the law to imprison anyone. The legal system is forced to protect the rights of the accused to ensure the mechanisms of justice remain strong enough to protect the innocent. The true failure in this case was not the judge's ruling, but the mechanical negligence of the officers who failed to follow the most basic requirements of their job.